I'm Canon Ken with the mission to Seafarers, and today here in the Baltic Exchange in the heart of the City of London, I'm in conversation with Dr. Cleopatra Doumbia-Henry, President of the World Maritime University. Welcome, Cleo. Cleo, before we talk about the World Maritime University, I really have to refer to you as the mother of the Maritime Labour Convention. Is this for you a matter of pride and great understanding?
Well, it is, in the first place, an expression that carries with it enormous responsibility. So if you're the mother of children and you're mother of something, you really have that through life.
Is there any one provision within the MLC that gives you the most satisfaction?
I would say the MLC gives me great satisfaction. But if I could identify a provision in the MLC or provisions in the MLC which I think together encapsulate everything, is Articles 3 and Article 4. There's two articles in the MLC is the foundation on which the entire rest of the MLC is built. And so the clear sets, articulated set of rights and responsibilities are in these two articles. Article 3 in terms of what are your what are your rights, your Bill of Rights, what are they? You can find them clearly in Article 3. And so it encapsulates everything that's in titles 1 to 4 of the convention. And then you had the Article 4 that then is the teeth of the convention in a way, because that is where you have the status of the different parts of the convention, and importantly, the compliance and enforcement mechanisms. And that's the teeth of the convention, the certification system that is then developed in Title 5. So I would say certification for labor compliance is the most far-reaching of the provisions, because for the first time we have a mechanism in an international treaty that requires compliance with labor standards to be certified. I had this conviction that everybody was on board, that everybody felt that they owned this product, because they all participated from not just, as I say, governments and the official representatives of employers and workers organizations, therefore the ship owners and the seafarer organizations, ably led by astounding people, remarkable people led these for their various groups. But how so much more than that, how all of the organizations in consultative status with the ILO, which include the Mission to Seafarers, which include so many non-governmental organizations, played incredible roles in that process. And therefore, when I think of the success it has been, it's been a success of so many people. And it is the sum of the parts that make the whole. And indeed, that is what that reflects. The MLC reflects that beautifully.
After that whole episode of the MLC, which, as you know, took so many years, you then translated from regulator to academia. How do you feel that the shipping companies can better engage with the World Maritime University? Indeed, how can they engage more fully protecting the well-being of seafarers, and again in partnership with the likes of the Mission to Seafarers?
Well, I think one of the areas that I've identified where more needs to be done is building a true partnership with industry. The university and industry must build partnerships. And we are hoping to establish an WMU industry liaison program so that we can have a forum for interaction and exchange. and to mutually benefit from both sides, because it's a mutually beneficial. That can help, for example, enable us to identify new areas of research as a university, and at the same time ensure that some of the research outcomes that we produce are useful to the industry in terms of enabling them to anticipate the new developments.
One of the most difficult things to understand is the impact that the industry has on fatigue among seafarers. Do you think that fatigue is something we should focus on in research?
I think fatigue is critical to focus on research. It is a critical factor because I think it's well accepted data that has already been published that 90% of maritime accidents are caused by fatigue. That's the primary cause of maritime accidents. And no one contests that data. So the statistics and the data is there and tells a big story already. And so it is the singular most important factor, in my view, that needs to be addressed. And that is where I hope the Maritime Labour Convention will have an impact. It is critical that, of course, ship owners accept and recognize that, it is important, it is fundamental, it's indispensable to deal with the issue of fatigue, because, it may be a short-term benefit, but a long-term impact, loss, huge negative consequences. There is no way that we can see repeats of these major maritime disasters. And you can help channel their concerns, whether it be for fatigue, through to, they come for many reasons, of course. Some of this just being alone and away from family may be one major reason. But a very important reason for them is that they're so exhausted and tired. They just look to the mission for seafarers, for that solace, for that listening air, for that help to get into the city, for many other things, just for counseling alone. So you're legendary there. You have day-to-day contacts. You meet the seafarers all the time. The real life issues that they have. These are the ones that come to you on a daily basis. So I think we can work together with you as an academic institution to pull all of that data and information together as you get it, in real time as you get it. And how do we create databases that would help us then to do and analyze the mass of information that you get, organize it in ways that would enable us to draw conclusions together with you, and then share that, publish it. We need to create broader awareness of these issues. So I think a partnership is a natural one for us, and we should begin, if it hasn't been really solidly well established already, we should give it a new momentum, a push. We should just take the ball and run with it.
Thank you very much, Cleo. Well, as you hear, the bell has sounded, so I think we appreciate very much you setting your time aside and telling us something of your aspirations for the implementation of the MLC, for the development of the World Maritime University, and the partnerships that we can engender with the Mission to Seafarers. We do appreciate, and every blessing to you as you go forward.
And thank you very, very much, and your prayers.